Hello and happy Juneteenth, everyone. James Joyce III here. You may know me from such daily activities as serving as the district director for State Senator Hannah Beth Jackson. But as you can see behind me, Coffee with the Black Guy is an initiative that I started here in the Santa Barbara area about 4 years ago in 2016 to kind of overcome some of the avoidance of talking about race and issues that are important to us and our community on a larger scale with more folks. And so that's something that I started after a few years living in Santa Barbara. I started living in Santa Barbara back in 2013, and that's when rents were quite a bit more affordable. But still been able to find a way to stay in town and continue to thrive here in town through different community events and the such. I'm originally from Maryland, right outside of the Baltimore area, in a place called Carroll County, Westminster. Look it up, it's an interesting place, but a great place to be from. I couldn't still be there. I attended school at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. Go Bobcats! Was a member of the Bobcat track and field team there, and various other things on campus. An RA, worked for the newspaper, blah blah dot dot. Um, um, I'm a former newspaper journalist. That's what my first career was in before I got into the political realm. And so, I did also. I think I want to add a little nugget in here, a little known fact. Little nugget is I used to, during the time I was a newspaper reporter up in Washington State, I also did a brief stint as a semi-professional football player for a team called the Yakima Mavericks. I was a wide receiver. So, yeah, that was interesting as well. Um, let's see, a point of self-pride or family pride. For me, I think maybe that's just my story or the family story, right? I've just been learning a little bit more about my family story over the past year and a half. But, I think a real sense of pride for me was when I came to the realization that I am my story, right? All the experiences, all the things that I've experienced in life, that is what makes me who I am and what makes you who you are. Your experiences do for you. And so I really took pride in that once I was able to come to that understanding and realization. And so I think that's a sense of pride and growing family pride, particularly as I'm learning more through the years of connections to things that I'm already passionate about, such as horse racing, and understanding that there's a family connection to thoroughbred breeding and racing. So just those kind of things are worth pride. And if you haven't started to dive down that path of learning your story, or I would encourage you to start doing that. It's a good. It's easier now than ever, but it's great to root yourself in your story. Definition of black joy. Um, hmm. I mean, I don't know if I know a definition, but I'll paint a picture of black joy, what I think is black joy, right? And a Santa Barbara Young Black Professionals event. I don't remember the exact. It was the paint thing, right? And so everybody's in this, and what formerly had been an empty space in El Paseo, and we're holding an art gallery event, and there's just blackness and beautifulness and joy and music and laughter. That is what I see as black joy. Cookouts, summer cookouts, family reunions, like that is black joy. Being able to share your story with someone who listens and being able to understand that there is value in that story and those experiences. That is black joy. Black joy is any and everything. Even tears are black joy, right? As we shed tears for our fallen brothers and sisters, that is an act of joy and an act of love. For people who many of us have never even met, right? So just having the depth and the breadth of being able to have those cultural connections and ties, that is black joy. And that doesn't even start to mention about music. So there's that. Story of resilience and community building. Well, I think that's essentially what I've been doing with Coffee with the Black Guy. I mean, when you look at some of when I spoke a little earlier about how I am my story, I am those stories of resilience, those encounters with law enforcement, those developmental things, experiences that I've had in my life, and so being resilient about not being angry about it per se anymore, but really turning that pain into gain and being able to share that with the community has been something that I've taken a lot of pride in and enjoyed. But also, I feel, and what I've seen is real genuine community building, right? When you get to learn more about your neighbor and about where they came from and about their experiences and about the food that they eat and the food that they cook and what this particular dish means to them and those kind of things. Like, that is what I'm talking about with genuine community building, not just tokenism, but really building community and making meaningful relationships with people who are in our community, our neighbors, people who do not have the same experiences as us, right? And so being able to share that and learn from one another. And so I think that that's something that I've seen happen quite a bit through the Coffee with the Black Guy conversations, but something that I'm definitely think that we're going to be seeing more of as we continue down this pike as a nation. And I think finally, how would I like to see the community grow? I would like to see the community grow with more celebration of cultural spaces, right? We do have Casa de la Raza in town for our Latinx brothers and sisters, and that's a great place, and it has a lot of good programming. But that is a place that is annually struggling financially, and they're always having challenges. I think they're got some financial support to get over the most recent hurdle, but that is a cultural space. We need more spaces like that where you can go and engage in cultural exchanges with folks, and that is, I think, something that I'd like to see Santa Barbara grow towards, particularly as we're going through our national unrest and the things that we're experiencing as a nation and echoed locally. So with that, I just say happy Juneteenth to everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to share. Thank you for the opportunity to engage. Appreciate those who've come to events and engaged and shared your experiences and have allowed the community to hear you, and you really feel heard. And that's part of the process with Coffee with the Black Guy as well. It's a two-way street, and so looking forward to continuing the conversation. And if you want to know more, you can always check out the webpage. Let's see there, cwabg.com. I don't know if you can see it or if it's backwards, but look forward to engaging some more. Thank you to the Juneteenth Santa Barbara Committee, Black Lives Matter, all the folks who support and this effort. Thank you and appreciate you, and look forward to doing more work together in the future, because this community is only going to get better the more we lean into us and show our excellence. Okay, I'll stop talking now. Thank you.